When your cat is acting funny or just stares at a particular spot in your home, it's easy to think they're not doing anything at all. However, our feline friends have senses far beyond what we can comprehend. They see things we don't, hear sounds we don't, and even smell things that are invisible to us. In this video, we will talk about one thing your cat can sense that you can't see. But before we get started, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe for more amazing videos. Let's start. Point 1. Magnetic fields. Cats are more sensitive to magnetic fields than humans. And while we don't know exactly why, it could be because of their highly developed sense of smell. Their noses have scent receptors that pick up on chemicals in the air, which creates a map in their brains of what's around them. This ability helps them navigate in the dark and find their way home if they get lost outside. However, there are times when your cat's sensitivity to magnetic fields can cause them some trouble. For example, during thunderstorms, the Earth's magnetic field becomes distorted, which can confuse your cat and make them act out. Some cats may become anxious or fearful, while others may try to hide. If you notice your cat acting strangely during a thunderstorm, don't worry. It's perfectly normal behavior. Just give them some extra love and attention, and they'll be sure to appreciate it. Point 2. Electrical fields. We don't often think about electrical fields, but they're actually everywhere around us. From the wires in our homes to the appliances we use every day, there are electrical fields all around us. While we can't see these fields, our cats can. In fact, cats are much more sensitive to electrical fields than humans are. This sensitivity is thought to be because of their acute sense of hearing. When electrical fields change, they create a small amount of sound. And cats can hear these sounds much better than we can. Your cat may not be able to tell you exactly what's causing the electrical field, but they'll let you know that something's not right by acting out in some way. If your cat starts acting strangely around certain appliances or objects, it might be worth checking to see if there's a problem. An electrical field can also affect your cat's behavior. For example, some cats may become agitated or anxious, while others may try to hide. Point 3. UV light. Cats can see in the dark much better than humans, but did you know that they can also see an ultraviolet light? That's right. Cats have special eyes that allow them to see things that are invisible to us. When we walk next to each other outdoors, we may miss something beautiful because our eyes can't see it. But if we take the time to look closely, we may be able to catch a glimpse of what our feline friends are seeing. For example, when the sun hits certain flowers, it causes them to glow in the dark. This is because the petals absorb light energy during the day and then re-emit it as ultraviolet light at night. Cats' eyes are special because they can detect this emitted light. So while we may not be able to see the flowers glowing in the dark, our cats can. Another thing that cats can see in UV light is fluorescent markings. These markings are often used by animals to identify each other, and cats can pick up on them even when we can't. For example, when a cat pees, it leaves behind a message that only other cats can read. The message contains information about the cat, such as its sex and whether or not it's fixed. Cats can pick up on these messages by reading the fluorescent markings in the urine. Point 4. Cosmic radiation. It's no secret that our world is full of radiation, but most of it is invisible to us. Cats, however, have a sixth sense for cosmic radiation, and they can sense when it's high or low. This is likely due to their highly attuned senses and their close connection to the Earth. Cats are also very sensitive to changes in their environment, so they may act out if they feel that the radiation levels are too high. For example, they may become agitated or anxious, or they may try to hide. If you notice that your cat is acting strangely and there does not seem to be any other explanation, it could be that the radiation levels are off and your cat is trying to tell you. One way to protect your cat from high levels of radiation is to provide them with a safe place to hide, such as under a bed or in a closet. You can also try to limit their exposure to stressful situations, as these can raise radiation levels. Overall, it's important to be aware of the potential dangers of radiation and take steps to protect both yourself and your furry friend. Point 5. Infrared light. We can't see infrared light, but it's all around us. From the warmth of the sun on our skin to the heat coming off of a fireplace, infrared light is responsible for the heat we feel. Cats, on the other hand, can see in infrared light, and they use this ability to help them hunt, Their eyes are able to pick up the heat signature of their prey, making it easier to spot them in the darkness. In addition to helping them hunt, infrared vision also helps cats navigate in the dark and avoid obstacles. By seeing in infrared light, they're able to create a mental map of their surroundings, which helps them move around safely even when they can't see. Point 6. Sounds too high or too low for humans to hear. Cats can hear sounds that are too high or too low for humans to hear. This means that they can communicate with each other in ways that we can't eavesdrop on. Additionally, cats are able to hear the ultrasonic chirps that mice emit when they're being hunted. This gives them an advantage when it comes to finding food. On the other hand, some of the sounds that humans make, such as those coming from vacuum cleaners or other household appliances, can be very stressful for cats. This is because the sounds are often high-pitched and loud, which can make cats feel anxious or scared. Vacuum cleaners are especially notorious for being scary to cats, as the loud noise and sudden movements can be quite startling. To make things worse, the smell of the vacuum cleaner can also be unpleasant for cats, as it often reminds them of the smell of a predator. All of these factors can make the experience of being around a vacuum cleaner very negative for a cat. Fortunately, there are some things that you can do to make things a little bit better for your feline friend. First, try to vacuum in a well-ventilated area so that the sound isn't as loud or echoey. You can also try to make the sound less abrupt by turning the vacuum on before you start using it so that your cat has time to get used to the noise. Finally, consider getting your cat a toy that makes a similar sound to a vacuum cleaner. This way, your cat can get used to the sound in a positive context and learn that it's not something to be afraid of. Point 7. Sense too weak or too strong for humans to smell. Our sense of smell is nowhere near as good as that of a cat. They can pick up scents that we can't, and they can detect changes in smells that indicate danger long before we can. One example of this is the ability of cats to detect gas leaks. Cats are able to pick up on the scent of natural gas, which can be life-saving in the event of a leak. Similarly, cats can also smell smoke, which means that they can warn us of a fire before it becomes out of control. Cats are also able to detect certain diseases through their sense of smell. For example, they can sniff out cancer cells in human breath. This means that cats may be able to help diagnose diseases that currently have no effective treatments. While we may not be able to understand how cats are able to detect these scents, it's clear that their sense of smell is truly remarkable. If you've ever wondered how cats seem to know when you're about to sneeze, it's likely because they can detect the change in your scent. Cats are able to pick up on subtle changes in our body odor, and they may be able to sense when we're about to become sick. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.